Ladies and gentlemen, reaction. This is Russian banks are losing it. Sanctions, fees, and scams. By the channel NFKRZ. Also, I guess one of the recent video from this channel. About basically mobilization, right? Like how fucked up the scenario was, which is kind of a terrifying thing to see happening, right? Because this is, let's be honest, this is the modern time, 21st century, right? I mean, you don't think of war at the times like this. I can imagine people just, living the life basically, some creators, digital creators like him as well. People who basically are at best bankers or some kind of a desk job or working in some kind of a, gaming industry, developers, whatever. I can imagine all these people and suddenly they are now getting called up to fight. I guess people told me that only people are being called is the people who has served in the past, but I guess that might change. That could change in the future as well. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know, man. This is really fucked up times, right? People are gonna be scared. But yeah, that video was really heavy, from all sides. So I don't know. I guess this is like a more on the banking side now rather than that. But yeah, I like this channel for any Russian news, because he's a Russian. Obviously he doesn't live in Russia right now, but yeah, he's gonna have close news because his relatives family lives there, so obviously he's gonna know about it. So yeah, it's obviously there is no other channel I come across where there's a Russian who gives detailed videos or creative content like him. So yeah, I like to check out on this channel. So let's watch it.
Blazers, it is your boy Roman, your favorite neighborhood Russian. How you guys doing today? Welcome to a brand new video, and in today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about the glorious Russian banking system, and essentially how since the start of the special military operation in Ukraine and after all the sanctions hit Russia, the Russian banks have gone
I don't get it. Why does he have to say that Instagram and all those are extremist? He doesn't live in Russia right now, and what is he scared that he won't be allowed to come back or something? Because he's already making videos that would piss off certain people there in Kremlin, right? So why does he have to stay Instagram? What is that a law where he's right now? He's in Georgia, right? Where is he?
Absolutely insane, and their business practices are absolutely ridiculous now. But before we really get into why Russian banks have gone crazy, I would like to say that the Russian banking system, before the sanctions and everything, before the Russian economy was basically iron curtains, the Russian banking system was actually sorta decent. From a usability and a user-friendliness standpoint, I would say, because Russian banks, the way their support system is, the way the apps are and how well they're designed and how functional they are, Russian banks were doing pretty well. And I've heard this from foreigners actually as well who've lived in Russia, who've said that the banking app experience with a top-of-the-line Russian bank is much better than a lot of the European countries and stuff like that. And so honestly, for me as a Russian, I've heard all these tales and I was like, well, I guess this is one thing I can be proud of, because there's not a lot of things that Russia excels in and leads the world in, you know what I mean? I just thought of a really good joke, but if I'm actually gonna say it, I'm gonna get jailed. I'm not gonna say it. So yeah, I was pretty proud of Russia.
I mean, I can imagine, obviously Russia having really good minds when it comes to information technology and shit like that. Because let's be honest, space race was between two countries. One was Russia, Soviet Union, another was United States, right? Lots of scientists, lots of things that were discovered. Lots of them can be also be traced to Russians, basically, right? I mean, look at the periodic table. The table was created by a Russian. So I can see how that there are lots of great mind in Russia who might have created this kind of different solutions to things.
Banks and everything, until it came to recent events in which I actually realized how ghetto Russian banks really are. Let's start off with my favorite, Tinkoff Bank. Tinkoff Bank, in my opinion, is one of the banks that took the biggest L and basically turned from one of the best banks in Russia to one of the worst banks in Russia with this entire sanction situation and everything. Here's my Tinkoff card, for example. I've been using this bank since forever. Long story short, this bank was started by a pretty famous Russian businessman, Oleg Tinkoff. This guy's a Russian billionaire. He's highly controversial, but one thing that's true about this guy is that he wasn't a crony capitalist. He's not an oligarch. He didn't make his money using political power, essentially. And this guy started his own bank and everything, and for a while it was pretty good. He was, I think, one of the best banks actually in Russia. Their app was actually the best. They changed the game. Everybody started copying them. They were like a fully digital bank with no offices and stuff like that. Tinkoff was kind of the Russian Revolut, if you think about it. It was a great bank. Low fees, great customer support, not so obnoxious of an anti-fraud system. Basically, it was like my most used bank for years, and what happened recently with Tinkoff is that the founder of the bank, Oleg Tinkoff, has basically been outspokenly critical of the special military operation in Ukraine. He's been vocally very critical of the Russian government, and basically what happened is that the Russian government took away his bank. Basically, Tinkoff was straight up forced to sell his business for like 1/10 of its actual.
This is just fucked up. Tycoon Oleg Tinkoff says he was forced to sell his stake in Russian bank after criticizing invasion of Ukraine. God damn, he was literally forced out of, by threat, forced out of his own bank. This is just fucked up. I mean, this is not the first time that something like this has happened, but still. Man, look, your economy is only stronger as your banks are stronger, right? So yeah, if banks are going downhill, I don't know what this is gonna do for the Russia in the future, but yeah, it's fucked up.
Price, and long story short, immediately the bank became shit. One of the worst things that the bank has done to date is the way they handle foreign currencies. So I need to very quickly explain the situation in Russia right now, but basically you can still have dollars in your account in Russia. I think you can still exchange dollars to rubles on apps, but basically you cannot withdraw all of your dollars from your account. The Russian government actually limited draw in dollars from your bank accounts to $10,000, and this like measure is gonna be working until like the next year. So basically in the foreseeable future, if you have dollars in your accounts, you can't get more than 10k in cash. If you want to get more, you have to exchange it to rubles, therefore making the ruble stronger, of course, which is what Russia is trying to do, because you know the currency rate is kind of fake, let's be honest, and then you can withdraw it. Not even that, by the way, you can only withdraw the dollars that you had in your accounts before the 9th of March of 2022, which is like when the special regime started. So, for example, if you bought $200 on the app with your rubles, you cannot withdraw those $200. I mean, it's complete fucking nonsense. So this beautiful bank right here, Tinkoff, has done something very wonderful. They've introduced commissions for you having dollars on your account. If you have a certain amount of dollars in your account, every month Tinkoff takes 1% of whatever you have on your bank account as commission. Let's imagine that you're a young guy who used to make money and has some money in dollars and you have it in your account. Let's say you have $10k. I'm kind of talking about myself basically. Essentially, Tinkoff Bank is going to be taking $100 a month from your account for nothing. You're just storing money on your account and they take away your money every fucking month. And the reason why they do it is storing.
Yeah, I know the actual fee will be decreasing each month with the overall amount, but you get okay, because come on, man, I get the point here, right? Yeah, because it's gonna be like 99, 100 and things like that. Yeah, but still, man, that's just fucked up. I mean, how does this? Are there any rules? Are there any laws? I don't understand this. Just because you have dollars in your account, they're gonna take. Why don't just say like we're seizing all the dollars because fuck it? I don't get this. Like, don't banks have certain terms and conditions, certain agreement that happens between a customer and the bank? You can't just do this shit. And I guess if if you're not gonna go by any law or any rules or any terms and conditions, why even say this? Why don't just take all the money? Because clearly you're not afraid of anybody. You're not afraid of people revolting either. So I don't know. This might go downhill much faster than it is already going.
Money on your account and they take away your money every fucking month. And the reason why they do it is essentially just to push people to sell their dollars for rubles and hold their money in rubles, therefore inflating, and improving the rate of the ruble. The National Bank of Russia calls this process de-dollarization.
I guess that's why, I mean, there was news, I guess a month or two ago, that ruble is doing really fine. I guess this has been in play for a good enough time. He's just making video now, right? So that's why people are saying that all the sanctions are not working because ruble is strong. I guess this is the reason. They're forcing people to buy ruble and just giving up dollar.
By the way, they're not stealing your money, guys. They're just doing a special operation of seizing your finances. This is not even the end, by the way, because what Tinkoff also did is that they introduced a new fee on incoming transactions in dollars. Here's the thing, this bank Tinkoff is in a really weird position. It's like not officially sanctioned by any governments because it's not like connected to the governments of Russia, really. It's not like a governmental bank like Sberbank or Alpha Bank, for example, which is also a bank that I use, by the way. We're gonna get back to this later. It's also a funny story. Basically, Tinkoff is not sanctioned, so technically you can actually receive foreign payments, but Tinkoff constantly has to change their correspondent banks and change their partners and change their SWIFTs and everything, and like essentially when you get a payment sent to your Tinkoff, there's like a 10% chance that you actually get it. But if you do get it, you get a commission on every incoming payment. So the amount of the commission is 3%, okay? Which in all fairness doesn't seem that bad. Okay, 3%, whatever. Let's think of that as an additional tax or something, you know, 3%. But the thing is that they don't just take away 3% of your income, because this 3% also has a minimal threshold of the money that they always take away from you. I'm gonna give you guys 5 seconds to guess what it is. Is it $10, $30, or $200?
200?
Alright guys, and the results are in. It's $200.
What the fuck?
You've got to be fucking kidding me. So yeah, they basically take away $200 out of every payment you receive. Every payment. So for example, there's some people I know for whom YouTube is like a side hustle basically. And this guy made like 400 bucks in a month from YouTube AdSense, and AdSense sent it to his account on this bank. And out of $400 that he was supposed to receive, he only receives 200.
50%, damn, man.
So bad. This is so fucking stupid. I can't believe this. So yeah, straight up, just like that, $200 gone. And I can imagine there's a lot of people in Russia right now who are like, you know, digital artists, or for example, something like that, who are still somehow receiving this money in Russia. And imagine if these guys make like $500 a month, which is already a pretty decent salary in Russia, by the way. Well, now they don't make $500 a month. Now they make 300, so... This is fucking insane, and this is, by the way, a direct violation of the terms of service of the bank itself. The bank essentially is breaking the rules of the contract it has with every single client, but hey, it's Russia, you know, it's not like anybody cares about law or anything like that. Absolutely fucking ridiculous, and this is exactly why I'm saying that this bank turned from one of the best banks in Russia, one of the leaders and trendsetters, to a dog shit, absolutely awful company.
Yeah, but it's not the same bank anymore, is it? The main guy who created the bank is named after, he's no longer there. I guess it became a government bank now, right? So, yeah.
Alright, now let's get to the second part of the video. I want to talk about my boy Alpha Bank and Sberbank and a couple of others. So, if you're a bank, you have an app, right? That's just the bare minimum. You want people to be able to send money to each other, to pay for whatever, to see their card information just in an app online conveniently on their phone. And like I said, before the sanctions and everything, the Russian banking system was known for their pretty well done apps. That's great. Well, the thing is that what happened after the sanctions hit is that every single Russian bank that is sanctioned also got their app deleted from the App Store. Because I guess according to EU and US regulations and everything, Apple has to delete these apps from the App Store. So for example, this bank that I have as well, Alpha Bank, one of the biggest banks in Russia, by the way, this bank got sanctioned, so their app got taken off of App Store. The same thing also happened to Sberbank, for example. Sberbank is literally the biggest bank in all of Russia. It's as governmental as it gets. That's actually precisely the reason why I never had an account in that bank, because I know they're the ups. And that's like the bank that fucks your ass if you receive like 500 rubles from your friend. They're like, ooh, what is this? Undeclared income? Fuck out of here, bro. Anyway, Sberbank also got their app deleted from the App Store. So yeah, that kind of sucks. iPhones are very popular in Russia, and as the major bank not having an app on the iPhone, that's a big problem. So guys, how do you think these Russian banks solve this issue? Well, they created fake apps on App Store under completely random ass names, which were basically just re-uploads of the bank apps on App Store, and that's it. Kinda genius, I'm not gonna lie. So the first one was actually Sberbank.
Look, they literally, created their own makeshift McDonald's, which is, kind of, deal with a McDonald's in a way. But yeah, I think the Apple's in this one as well, right? I mean, Apple realized, okay, we have to give into sanctions, we have to do this, otherwise we have a problem with our own government. And obviously there are way too many people in Russia and associated with those banks. So what are we going to do? I guess Apple and they came together with this kind of a thing, like just create another with this name. Because I'm pretty sure if Apple's not on it, Apple would realize that this is the same thing but with a different name. They would remove it. So I guess Apple's in this too.
Bank. Their old app on App Store used to be called Sberbank Online, was very popular app and everything, then it got taken down, and Sberbank decided to upload it again to App Store under a different name from some random new company, and the app was now called Sbol, S-B-O-L, which basically means Sberbank Online. And like, this is not fake, this was like a legit app, by the way. And App Store actually recognized this, and they basically deleted the new fake Sberbank app less than a week after it appeared. Also, on some Russian websites on which you can buy like secondhand stuff, people were actually trying to sell secondhand iPhones with the bank apps installed on them, like advertised in its title. For example, this one, iPhone with Sberbank installed on it. I actually don't know if this was more expensive than the regular regular iPhone. But yeah, pretty hilarious. Same thing happened to VTB. VTB also released a fake app called Prime Balance, which also got taken down in a week, and so did Alpha Bank. Yes, their app also got deleted from the App Store, so they uploaded a new app from some random developer, new developer, called Деньги пришли, like the money has been received. And the thing is, I actually recently like lost my old iPhone on which actually had all these apps, and I was like, man, that's cool as fuck. I have all these apps, I can actually use them. People who are buying new phones can't use them anymore and everything. But the thing is that I actually lost my phone like 2 months ago and I had to buy a new iPhone, and I can't download it anymore, so I didn't have an app for like one of my main banks for months. And then Alpha Bank released this and I was like, hell yeah dog, I downloaded it. And now I have this bootleg ass app on my phone, which has already, by the way, been deleted again from the app.
Hold up though, so if you already have an app, you can use it, is that it? You can download it again. So why doesn't the bank create some kind of a website, I guess, from where you... I guess, yeah, Apple's not gonna let them do it, right? I don't know. If you already have it installed, I guess Apple doesn't delete it, right? Like, okay, this is no longer... I don't know. There must be some, workaround from there. Because if Apple just basically deleted even from your phone, like this app is no longer in the App Store, so you can't use it either, like doesn't let you launch the app or something, right? That was the case, is different. But if you have the app, it works. I guess there could be some workaround. I don't know.
Store. And the thing is, it's legit. Like when you actually log in into the app with your credentials, the official bank SMS account sends you like the confirmation code and shit. So it's them. And yeah, I mean, works fine for me. And like this is basically the point we've reached in Russia at this point. You know what I mean? We don't even have just bootleg McDonald's or bootleg Starbucks at this point. We now have to use bootleg mobile apps for our own banks. They get deleted from the App Store in less than a week.
Look, if you get shunned by everyone around the world, basically the people who controls and has a monopoly on things like information technology, if you get shunned by all of them, yeah, everything's gonna go to shit. You have to bootleg everything. Kind of makes sense. I mean, your fast food or Western, McDonald's, basically Pizza Hut, things like that. The phones you use is Western, Apple, and things like that. So it kind of makes sense. You have to use bootleg of everything.
This is fucking ridiculous, man. How did we come to this point, bro? Another funny story about this Alpha Bank, by the way, is that I actually had a business account with them as well when I was registered in Russia as an individual entrepreneur type thing, like paying tax for my YouTube stuff, and I actually closed that account months ago. But the official Alpha Bank SMS spam was spamming me like at least 4 times a week saying that we just released the new app of Alpha Bank Business on the App Store. Download it while you still can. And they literally spammed my ass like 4 times in a week. Telling me to download this app before it's gone. I think it's probably deleted now, so absolutely incredible. Like, it's kind of sad, isn't it? When a huge financial institution that's actually worth billions of dollars has to like spam their clients via SMS telling them to download this bootleg app that they uploaded illegally on the App Store. Because they are basically breaking the law, right? It's because they've been banished from the platform. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, guys, I mean, that's pretty much all I wanted to say in this video. I just wanted
They're not really breaking the law. Law of what? Is Apple, right? I mean, Apple kind of say, okay, you're no longer allowed because of the sanctions. Yeah, they're doing everything they can, I guess. I don't know.
Tell you guys about how banks in Russia are actually going insane. Bootleg apps, insane fees. I mean, this is not good. So yeah, guys, what can I say? All my thoughts and prayers go out to the people using Russian banks right now. I hope you guys did enjoy this video though. If you guys did, then please make sure to slap the like on it. As well, guys, if you want to support me additionally, then go over to the link down in the description where you can...
Yeah, damn, the things are... This is fucked up. I don't know. I don't know where this is gonna lead, man. Seriously. I mean, today's world, imagine that. I mean, most things that people are accustomed to are Western. There's a reason why USA was dominant and still is dominant for past century, right? So, yeah, but your food is Western, your food chains, basically all these restaurant things are Western, your phones, apps, that's Western. Lots of things are Western, and if they decide that we're going to take you off of everything, it's going to be hard to live, right? I don't know, this must be a slap in the face and wake-up call to a lot of people, like how much everybody's lives depend on, Western culture, at least. So, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to care. The Kremlin's not going to care, right? They just don't care. They're just doing their thing. If people get annoyed, they get annoyed. I mean, at this point, it makes sense that they just don't care, right? I mean, the recent mobilization thing, I mean, people are actually run away. Your biggest search is how to run away from Russia. I mean, if you don't see that and think like, okay, what I'm doing, I'm clearly majority of my people are not with me with this one, and you still don't care. At this point, I mean, what can you expect? They're not gonna care. Yeah, but download Bootleg app. Don't download Bootleg app. Who cares? We're gonna take this much money from your account. If you have dollar, we're gonna take 1% every month because fuck it, right? We're gonna take $200 out of all the payment. That's just, I don't know, man. Yeah. Right, people. There was Russian banks are losing it. Sanctions, fees, and scams for the channel NFKRZ. If you like my reaction, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.